Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Fred Roselli, TV 35. My good friend and co-host Art Lindensky's out doing some scouting, seeing what some of these other teams are like. This year we have the good luck or the bad luck. We're going to be starting on week 0, which is 1 week earlier. Before we get into football here at the high school, I want to give a big shout out and a congratulations to my good friend and a classmate here from the class of '69, Drew Pearson. Congratulations getting into the NFL Hall of Fame. Well deserved, long overdue. Wish you nothing but good luck. I had the good fortune of seeing you out there last week. Fabulous, fabulous event. We're all proud of you. Thanks. Other people that we know that are very important here to us in South River. My good friend here, Coach Marchese. Coach,
Fred, how you doing?
Welcome back. You know, It's got to be close to Labor Day when we're getting together like this. Coming into a new season, this year they have what they're calling week 0 games, which is technically 1 week sooner. South River is going to be playing their opening game. We'll talk about who and when. How does that affect your preparation with the kids? Because you still got the August 9th date that you can't start to, but 1 week short.
Yeah, we started August 9th. Luckily, we have a pretty much veteran group where we kind of picked up where we left off last year. Really only 1 week of practice from the 9th that first week. Heat acclimation those first 6 days. Then the second week we had 2 scrimmages, one Middlesex on a Monday, and we were over at Keensburg on a Thursday. We did well in both, and I felt we got better in our second scrimmage against Keensburg. And now we got game week looking at us, so you know there's no time to mess around, and we're locking it down. We had a good practice today, and we got 1 week from today we're on the field.
A good core of players. I think you got a 12 to 15 seniors. Make it a little bit easier for you in the coaching?
Yeah, no doubt. You know, some of the base offense was put in over the summer in June and July, and we gave them some time off during that period as well. So, you know, and we're probably where I thought we would be, and I'm pleased with where we are right now with our game preparation.
A stat you may or may not have been aware of. Regular season last year, you finished up with a 4-3 record, again over 500. Averaged 29 points a game last year. Hopefully carrying that over. You obviously lost Austin Suarez, carried for about 800 yards and a number of touchdowns. How do you fill a void like that?
Well, we have a few backs that can fill in. DeAndre Morris has been having a really nice preseason. My fullback, Marcus Granadero, is a pretty tough runner inside with our trap packages. And Ryan Kurtz can run the ball out of empty or ace or any of our 4 receiver sets. So we have some good receivers that can take the load off off our running backs and keep teams honest.
Last year you liked that spread offense, something you're going to work with again this year, giving the quarterback a little bit less pressure on him over there?
I think we went down the field on Keensburg on Thursday with kind of some old-fashioned 1995 football where we lined up 2 tight ends and we went straight ahead, and that's what we may be. I'm going to be patient against playing South Plainfield. I'm going to be patient, and I want to keep their offense off the field and keep our offense on the field and be patient and grind it and you know, stick one in the end zone, stick a couple in the end zone that way. I don't want to come out throwing every down. I'm going to try to keep them off the field.
Anticipating this year that you're well balanced running and passing or receiving, or a little bit one or the other?
I think we can run the ball pretty well. It all starts with our kids up front, basically returning the offensive line intact, and then with Morris and Granadero running the ball. And Darius Armstrong's only a freshman; he's chipped in pretty well, and my receivers outside are doing a really good job. So we're going to keep you honest, but I think our forte is going to be running the power football.
As with most teams, you're always faced with the depth question, especially when you're a Group 1 squad. How do we look right now as far as everybody's healthy, but how's our depth chart look?
Well, Zach Goodzak, my starting guard and defensive end, he got nicked up on Thursday a little bit. He's in a boot right now. Sean Halley, another inside backer, he's in a boot right now. So I'm mixing and matching players. You know, we're taking some JV kids right now and putting them in there, and they got to grow up quick within the next 5-6 days.
And a lot of players with that Group 1 play Ironman football, meaning they play on both sides of the ball, both offense and defense.
Yeah, they're going both ways, a lot of them. We're just trying to put the best 11 out there in different packages, so it's been working out.
When you come into a season and you're losing 1 week of practice, does it have to affect you with how you would normally spread out what you want to work with, or because the guys are, we'll call them returning players, they know the format, they know the plays, and you don't lose as much with it?
I think it helps that, we do have a number of kids returning, but there's been really no nonsense this year with disciplining kids and extracurricular things going on besides learning the game and getting better at the game. We've had good practices, short practices. We haven't been out there 3 hours. We had a couple days where it was like 97 degrees, and we started a little bit earlier, and we're in and out of there by 10 a.m. But it's been a good group so far. I think they know where they want to go. You got to get better from last year. We got to finish. We didn't finish some of those games last year, and we want to get into the playoffs and go deep. So, these kids, it's up to them. It's not up to me. It's up to them on how they take this train.
You and I grew up in a little bit of a different era, myself being a lot older than you are, Coach. Pride, tradition, with seniors there, is that something they can instill into these younger players?
Yeah, and I think they're feeding off it too, because again, with the way that the whole world was last year at this time, it was really difficult. Coaching with the way the pandemic was, you're kind of always looking behind you, looking over your shoulder for something to happen and maybe get shut down and lose a game. But I think they're a focused group right now. They know where they want to go. They want to be 2-0 before the bye. We have a bye in our third week, so it's a big challenge. I think we're going to rise up to it.
Well, you mentioned what I was going to talk about next. Last year's season, which was a strange, odd, whatever you want to call it, a season that's going to be a season to remember, with the pandemic, with everything going on, with the format, with the procedures. Did that loosen up a little bit? Because now you have the Delta coming in, and everybody's hoping it doesn't start where we finished up last year.
Well, it's a little bit easier. I mean, outside, obviously nobody really has to wear a mask outside. I try to keep my guys safe, and on the bus we're all masked up. I know half the team at least, or something like that, is vaccinated. Myself, my coaches, and family is vaccinated. So, we're going to take it day by day, and I think it's still a fluid situation in what happens with school, because we have school coming up. There's going to be a couple hundred kids in the school coming. So,
sure.
And I just tell these kids, now today's Saturday, you're going to go out somewhere tonight. You got to just be careful, man. You want to be on the field. You don't want to have to quarantine for 2 weeks, or you want to play. So you got to be smart.
From last year to this year, let's talk a little bit about the coaching staff. Who do you have in here with you helping out as you've done in the past? I know it's been a pretty solid crew now for a number of years.
Yeah, same group. Matt Masante, Joe Young, Bob Young, Kevin Feaster, Brandon Walsh brings a lot of good energy to the practice field. And we've been around together for a long time, so we're picking each other up.
I always love it, and regardless of what the sport is, it's not only that you've been around for a while, but a lot of them are homegrown, and they may be players you coached, players that you played with. They know what it is to bleed maroon and gray. Quote, bleed maroon and gray. Do you find that a little bit easier, getting them working with the kids that are out there because they're talking from experience?
Yeah, well, I coached every one of them except Matt Masante. Matt was down in Manalapan, and he played offensive tackle down there, and the other guys I coached. So, showing my age a little bit, but they're very helpful. They're enthusiastic. They know the game, and everyone's on the same page.
I was just going to say to you, that shows our age when the coaches are starting to show a little gray in here.
I always say that, talking to people around town, and a week or two before we start practice, they're like, "Hey, coach, are you really ready to go?" And it's surprising, because I always go, "Ugh." They're like, "What? Why would you say that?" I'm like, because I know once I'm in day one, August 9th,
yeah,
I'm in, man. It's like 110% I'm in, and like home life is different, and I'm grouchy, and it just changes. So right now I'm in. I'm looking for a big win next Saturday, and we are going to be fired up.
People often talk about it when they watch the pro game, and regardless whether it could be basketball, football, baseball, and these coaches talk about how it's 20 hours a day. All you do is working, football, and that dwindles down to the college level, to the high school level. People don't realize how many hours you put into it. When I say you, your staff, reviewing films, scouting, prepping stuff, getting kids. Plus you're getting practices in there and checking out everything. A lot of hours, and it does eat into a lot of the
I mean, it's
personal
so
time.
easy now too to watch film. I have my iPad at home, and I just pop a button on, and we can watch film. I watch film at home. It's just so easy with Huddle and technology now. And I watched probably 35, 40 minutes of film yesterday. I'm sure tomorrow, with this tropical storm we're supposed to get, rain and whatnot, I'm probably going to put a good hour or two in tomorrow.
Well, I'll hope that the weather's good and you can barbecue and we don't have to worry about the tropical
You know,
storm.
and
with a little luck.
if it's Sunday, and I'll relax and watch film and start zeroing in on South Plainfield.
Let's talk a little bit about this season. We're coming in, we're going to start out this year, what they refer to as week 0 will be next week. It's opening game, and a good thing for South River, you have 5 home games this year as of right now. What does that home field advantage do for you?
Well, it was huge because they're redoing the track, and having South Plainfield at home is up in the air. Up until yesterday, I found out that we will be playing home because the track was still under construction. You never want to give a home game away. I mean, I think we have home field advantage, number one, because of the whole build any stadium, the crowd.
Sure.
And a lot of teams, most teams play on Friday night. So for them to come here on Saturday at 1, their kids are out a little bit more, maybe Friday night, and not as focused. And my guys are kind of used to the Saturday at 1 thing. And that's why we like to start hot. We're going to try to start hot.
I saw the preliminary schedule and I was going to ask you. It indicates that the first game is Saturday, August 28th. But it's at a 12 o'clock start. Is that
I'm
definite yet?
Not aware.
Okay.
I'm not aware if it's 12 or 1, but
Yeah, I know they were
knowing
normally
my
starting at 1.
guys, maybe 12 might be good because I think they're going to be chomping at the bit.
You're opening up with South Plainfield. Thoughts about that first home game and their squad?
New coach, new system, new offense, new defense. They were kind of a I formation power football team last year. They lost pretty much their offensive line. They're a little bit more of a tighter wing T type thing, but not a true wing T where they pull guards a lot. They will, but it's kind of misdirection in the backfield. So instead of a 4-man or an even front, we'll probably in some kind of 5 or an odd front.
Be able to adjust to the wing T if it's the wing T that they're going to run?
Yeah, absolutely. It's again, they're not as pulling guards as much as Spotswood used to, but a lot of misdirection in the backfield. They have some good skilled kids, good speed.
Right after that game, your second game of the year, again, second game, and it's scheduled for September 4th, 1 o'clock game against big rival Spotswood. Was a new coach coming in also. Thoughts about that game?
I think it's really easy to get our guys fired up for that game, especially home 2 years in a row. New coach, he's a young guy. He's going to have a really welcoming party coming to this place. I know my guys. I don't have to say much during the week. Just Chargers coming to town on Saturday, and they'll be fired up.
The following week, which would be the third week going in, you're going to have an off week or a bye week. That's going to be the weekend of the 10th. Then you come back on the weekend of the 17th. You got your first away game, Al Johnson, on a Friday night, 7 o'clock game.
Works well with that bye and then going to Johnson because they run that Navy offense. It's similar to Middlesex, triple option. So to give us I'll give my guys a couple days off that first week, and we'll probably buckle down and practice Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. May give them Saturday off, see how it goes. And then we still have the whole next week to prepare for Johnson. So it sets up well for us.
You then come back the following week on Saturday, September 25th. This one again, follow up 2 home games, and you have 2 away games. This one's against Metuchen at 1 o'clock.
We've done well against Metuchen. We put some points up on them in the last couple of years, 42, 49. I think there was a 54 in there, or 55. So, it's a nice field, nice situation over there. We've done well against them.
As we talked about earlier, last year you averaged 29 points a game. That's some solid numbers. Thoughts of being able to get big numbers like that consistently this year?
The thing that bothered me, I've been talking about all preseason and all season, is being 4-3, and then those 3 losses. At some point in that game, whether second quarter or third quarter, we were leading, and we could not finish. So I think that's kind of the calling card with this year's team. We have to finish ball games, play 4 quarters, and we scored the 29 points, but we might have gave up in those 3 losses, 39 to 42.
Yeah, there are basically close games there along the way.
Yeah.
Your game right after that, Saturday, October 2nd, St. Thomas comes in, the third home game of the year, 1 o'clock game with St. Thomas. Thoughts about that?
Really outstanding quarterback. I believe he's already, I don't know if he accepted the scholarship to Monmouth. been there he's a junior. He's been there playing since his freshman year. A real outstanding young man. They got good skilled kids. I think we may be a little bit stronger up front than them. And again, that's another game you may want to just be very patient and run the ball and get 4 or 5 yards, a cloud of dust, and just keep him on the sideline, or if he plays defense, let him play safety or whatnot.
And hopefully at that stage of the season, you're looking around game 5, the players are still healthy. That always comes into play after that first couple of games. Like you said, they get nicked up and all. They can stay healthy to be a big plus for you.
Yeah, I mean, it's the whole thing. I think everyone's in the same boat. Really not getting those big numbers out for even the big schools. You know, some of the bigger schools are getting 40, 45 kids when normally they'd have 75, 80 kids. I don't know, kids are not participating like they used to.
That's all sports, though. You look, numbers are down for basketball, numbers are down for baseball, numbers are down for football. I think that's across the board. And the pandemic didn't help.
It didn't help. It scared people away. And I even see with Pop Warner and Little League Fred, and something that kind of bothers me. I think, when the kids are young, especially with Little League and T-ball, I think it's the parents. The parents got to push. I hear sometime that, he didn't want to play. He didn't want to play. What's he going to do? Then, if my kid didn't want to play, then you're going to have a tutor, you can run track, you can play soccer, but you're going to do something. You're going to do something. You're going to be part of a team and learn sportsmanship and teamwork.
I know just from being around town, coming up here with the high school varsity, JV, and all, talking with the coaches, numbers were down last year big time. I talked to the Little League, they weren't able to field 6 full teams like they always do, had to cut back.
And yet you go to a Little League game and there's 2 teams playing, and there's 15, 20 kids running around eating French fries.
Yep, in the stands there watching all. You wish you could get them all.
I'm going to get in trouble for this, but that's the way I feel, so.
Let's get back to football. We're going to come around. Week 6, Saturday, October 9th. That's a little bit of an awkward week because that's homecoming, and your homecoming game this year is against Bound Brook. How does homecoming affect, we talk about this year in, year out, with the kids, because there's float building, there's seniors games and all of that during the season. How does it affect the kids?
We're okay. We're good, with being home. Bound Brook's a pretty good program. They usually have a really decent team, some skilled kids, good quarterback, pretty big line. All that other stuff, it's okay. Let the kids have fun. You got to be a kid and have fun and be part of your class and participate with them. And it works out well for us.
Good time for bonding, just like when they're playing football out there doing stuff together. South River is one of those rare towns where from Monday through Friday, each class has a designated character or whatever it would be. They build floats. South River does the old tradition on a Sunday. There's a parade up through Main Street, right up here to the high school. Each class is represented. So there's a lot of bonding time for them, which is good for the kids also. You then come back from that. Saturday, October 16th, a big game, 1 o'clock game against Roselle, game 7 at Roselle.
Yeah, we played them we did not play them last year. We played them 2 years prior. Did well, one late, one game, one we kind of sealed it off in the 4th quarter, but a lot of skilled kids, fast kids. I think they might have a new coach, so maybe a new system, and then playing over there on a Friday night's a little bit of an advantage for them.
Right after that, you come back, your 8th game, again, an away game on October 22nd, another Friday night game, 7 o'clock game against Bernards.
I remember going the last time up there. We were a playoff team, and they were a playoff team, and boy, they sold us a real bag of goods over there, and they were not very nice. And I know some kids, these guys were freshmen, they still remember that,
So you can return the favor.
I think we're going to return the favor. We may go up there a little bit early and bring the boom box and make some noise ourselves, meaning, we're not going to be intimidated by these guys, so we'll have something in store for them.
At that stage of the season, I don't think intimidation should come into play.
I see them on film as well. They're not as big, they're not as fast, they're not as strong, they're not as smaller group, so I think we're going to be okay.
And the guys may very well be pumped up for that one.
Oh yeah, I remember my son was on the sideline, a freshman, not getting any playing time, but a couple of the kids were yelling across the field like they knew who he was. He was my son as a coach, so that's, we'll be ready for him.
Before we go on to the last game of the season, you brought up a subject there. You had a great high school career playing here. You were center for the Rams. You played solid squad around you, won championships. What's it like for you? Your son is now a senior, ironically, center. Thoughts about him not the thoughts coming from Coach Marchese, but the thoughts coming from Dad.
Well, I have 2 sons on the team now. Michael's a freshman.
Yeah, Michael's a freshman. That's
So I
right.
got 2, and it's cool. It's pretty cool, bonding and talking football with these kids and with my boys. And I'm very proud of them, the way they conduct themselves and the way they've grown. Michael not playing Potmore anymore. That's my Sundays are open, but I'm very proud of them. They've handled themselves extremely well, and Michael's learning from Matthew, and the sky's the limit with both my boys. I'm very lucky.
How's it like looking at Matthew, being he's in the same position, center, there, you've experienced it, and it's tough sometimes for a father to tell his son about playing a position, but you learn. And
He had a couple bad snaps in the first scrimmage, and then one in the, and I got angry at him, but I don't really bring it home. When we're home, it's a different situation. So we talk football a lot. We watch the Giants. We watch all kind of college football, and Matt's been watching football with me and watching film, South River film, when I'm scouting teams since he was 5. So he knows the game pretty well, and he makes a lot of the calls up front, whether we're Rip or Liz or blocking scheme, slide right, slide left. So very proud of him.
get to your last game. That's going to be on Saturday, October 30th. Your 5th home game of the season, 9th game you're playing, and you're winding up a 1 o'clock game against North Plainfield.
Tough team, man. That's
a tough one to finish on right before playoffs.
That's really that's like a playoff team right there. They're big, strong, fast. It's a good game. At one point, we were beating them last year, and we kind of had some mistakes. We didn't finish. So, and playing them home, correct?
Yeah, home.
Well, that's an advantage. Again,
1 o'clock.
From a Friday night to a Saturday at 1 is a little bit of an advantage for us. So we have our work cut out for us, and hopefully we'll be healthy, and we'll be ready to go.
Coach, it's always a pleasure working with you, talking with you. You've always been very gracious to TV 35. Good luck to you. We hope
Thanks,
this
Fred.
year's better than last year, and maybe one of the best you ever had. Last year, only 29 points. Maybe this year can even put up more than that.
Yeah, let's get the the differential
Point
down
differential. That's
to
what you
6
want.
points a game, and keep it up to 29 to 30, 32 points a game.
Coach, thank you very much.
Thanks, Fred.
We're going to take a short break, but we're not done. We're going to be doing as we always do, talking with our seniors, getting their thoughts about the game and what's going on. So we'll be right back. Welcome back, Fred Roselli, TV 35. As we've always done in the past, we try to talk to all our seniors. They put a lot of time and effort in working here to their senior year. As they come up, they'll introduce themselves and we'll talk. First in line.
Jeffrey Ferreira, play offense, wide receiver, and defense, outside linebacker.
I talk about with all the players. You like being on the offensive line, you like better being on the defensive line, and why?
I like being on the offensive side more because I get to make plays for my team. But like defense, it's always a different kind of vibe because I get to ball out with my teammates.
When you're setting up to play, every squad, they look to the seniors for leadership. Good core of seniors this year. I look here, 12, 13 guys coming in. Does that make it easier as a team?
I wouldn't say it would make it easier, but it is easier because we've been playing with each other for a while now. So yeah.
I ask every senior this every single year, and forget about what the coach told you. I know the coach will tell you your most important game is the game you play next week. Let's forget about that. It's a one-game season. Which team are you looking forward to playing against, and why?
St. Thomas.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why?
Because last year it was a really good game, and I'm looking forward to play that game and getting back.
Okay.
Back.
Thank you very much. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Next in line. Have a seat here. Welcome to TV 35. Give them your name and your positions.
Antonio Loro, I just play defense, outside linebacker.
A lot of the players who play defense, I'll talk to them and they say they'd like to be able to get in here and you let everybody know what's going on in that offensive line. Thoughts about your squad this year from a defensive standpoint?
I feel like we did lose a lot of players, but at the same time, we always had that connection. We will be back out there working harder and stronger than previous years. We're still a good squad and we're still young, so we'll see what happens this year.
This year, your season's actually starting a week sooner. We usually start Labor Day weekend. Does that affect you having one less week practice, or the coaches just
No.
adjust with it?
In my opinion, no, because I feel like we still work hard as a team. We still work, we progress as a team also. working hard, we're trying to get out there. We'll see what happens.
Just like I said to your teammate a few moments ago, if it's a one-game season, who is the one team you're looking forward to play against and why?
I think I'll say Bernards because our freshman year when we played them, it was a completely different team.
Okay.
I just want to see if they're also the same team that we played before. It'll be a challenging game, fun game.
Okay. Thank you very much. Stay safe. Have a good game. It's a good season. Have a seat right here. Just introduce yourself to the fans out there and give me your position.
DeAndre Morris. I play running back and safety.
You're going in as a running back. You had some playing last year and all. You lost one big yardage man there.
Yeah.
In Suarez. Thoughts first about him, being out there on the field with him last year.
Austin, he's a real good guy. He always led us in the right way, and he always ran hard.
Leadership's important.
Yeah.
You're a senior out there. Shoes to fill. You're ready for it.
100%.
Talk about that offensive backfield this year. Thoughts about who you have there and what?
I know we have me. I'm 100%. We got Marcus Granadero
Yep.
at a fullback. He can run it up the middle really hard. We got Jeffrey Ferrer. He wide receiver. He knows how to run the ball pretty well. You have a freshman Darius. He's good size.
So you got a little bit of depth there.
Yeah.
Thoughts about your offensive line? Running backs can only be as good as that line in front of them.
Yeah.
I always refer to the guys that are in the trenches, the unsung heroes. Your thoughts about those guys?
I think if the linemen work hard, then we could have a really good season on the ground and passing.
As I asked every player that comes out here, one game you're looking forward to playing and why?
For me, it would be North Plainfield because last year at halftime and third quarter, the game was tied or they were up by a touchdown or something like that, and then people just started giving up, and then the game just went downhill. And I thought that we could have fought harder and could have possibly won that game or a different outcome.
You talk about some, got a big squad of seniors here. If you see that happening amongst the teammates, enough senior guys here to keep these guys pumped up?
Yes.
Good luck to you. Have a safe season.
Thank you.
Hey Marcus, you're getting bigger and bigger.
I have to.
Have a seat. Welcome to TV 35. Introduce yourself and let the fans know what position you play.
Marcus Granadero, I play middle backer, and I'm a fullback as well.
Now that fullback there, it's a little bit more banging than some of the other backs back there.
Yeah.
Thoughts about your position on the offensive side?
Offensive side, my goal when I go out there is make sure to create a lane for the running backs running behind me and fight for extra yards when I do get the ball.
How about on that defensive side of the ball?
Defensive side, I try to be in every single play all the time. I gotta bring up my teammates. If they do something wrong, help them instead of bring them down, and just try to all guide them in the right way.
As we talked about with some of the other players, you got a lot of senior core that played a lot of downs last year. Does that make it easier coming in because you've played together? Some may even play together through Pop Warner and all.
Yeah, a lot of these guys that I've played with, we're brothers. Like, we hang out outside of football, and we've hung out since Pop Warner, so we're really tight, and we should make some noise.
You're going to be able to fill those shoes. You lost a lot of yardage there when Suarez graduated.
Yeah,
You got to bang some holes and carry that ball a few yards extra each time.
yeah, but I have faith in Jay.
All right. Single game of the season that you're looking forward to, and why?
I was gonna say Bishop Bar or St. Thomas, like Jeffrey said, but I'm also looking forward to Spotswood as well because they always come over here or we go over there and we compete because they're our rivals.
It's funny because I've been doing this more years than you've been alive, and Spotswood has always been one that if we have 8 players, 7 of the 8, it's always been a big rivalry. When I was going to school here, Spotswood went to school here with us, so there was no rivalry. You were classmates, teammates on a ball game and all. But that's become quite a rivalry on all the sports. I know during football, baseball, basketball, wrestling, that Spotswood squad carries one.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially on your senior year, you want to go away with a W,
We
right?
have to.
Good luck to you. Have a safe season.
Thank you, sir.
Have a seat. Welcome to TV 35. Indicate your name and positions that you play.
I'm Ryan Kurtz, and I play quarterback.
Ryan, you are probably the first quarterback in a number of years that's had the opportunity to have starting position here as quarterback. Before we talk about you, talk about those guys that keep you safe, the guys in the trenches that hold that line for you.
So we pretty much have everyone back from last year. Strong core, all game bigger. You know, very solid this year. Just keep getting better.
Last year, not too shabby, over 960, 970 yards. Maybe this year past that 1,000 mark, that'd be a nice one to carry
Came
along.
close last year. It was tough, but I'll definitely get it this year.
Thoughts about comparison of last year where you had a back that did a lot of the carrying for you, great running back, versus this year, you got more receivers, more guys in the backfield. Does it take a little bit of pressure off any of the players, or does it put more pressure on you, making sure you're executing properly?
I feel like if anyone, DeAndre is the best person to fill Austin's shoes. You know, he runs hard, hits holes, so he's a great person to fill Austin's shoes coming in.
Coming into that question that I always like to ask, especially with the seniors, one game this season that you really look forward to and why?
I always look forward to playing spots with him. It's a great rivalry.
That rivalry.
And it's great competition every year.
Like I just got done saying to the other player, you want to walk away with a W from that one, knowing that your senior year, this is where I finished up with them. Because being at their neighboring town, you bump into one another, whether it's at the malls, out, diners, wherever it is, and you want to have them bragging rights.
Yep, of course.
Good luck to you. Stay safe.
Thank you. Appreciate
Hopefully
it.
have a great season.
Thank you.
Next in line, Darren, grab a seat. Welcome to TV 35. Introduce yourself to the fans and let them know your position.
Darren Barberi, I'm the wide receiver and defensive safety.
This year you got a number of players out there that can do some receiving.
Yep.
Again, returning player, nice to have the experience behind you. Thoughts about your position with the squad you have this year?
I'm comfortable with the squad we have now. We have guys that are coming in, they're going to be able to get the job done, so I'm looking forward to it.
Do you think with Kurtz, obviously he's not a new quarterback, he's got a lot of experience here at South River, opens up more avenues having multiple running backs, multiple receivers for him?
Yeah, it opens a lot for him. He's been playing for his whole life, so he knows what he's doing behind the line.
Thoughts about the team as a whole? Does tradition come into play? You talk about marooning gray, the tradition of being a Ram player.
Yeah, for
Carry
sure.
some weight for you?
Yeah, for sure. We got to play what's on the front of the shirt, not the back.
Oh, good line. I like that. Last question I ask all the players, the seniors. One game you're looking forward to and why?
It's got to be Spotswood. It's
Got
always
it.
Spotswood.
That rivalry is still there.
That's rivalry. As a fan standpoint, it's what we're there for. So,
Well, we wish you nothing but good luck. Stay safe.
thank you.
Have a seat. Welcome to TV 35. Just taking a wild guess, I'm going to guess you're not the running back.
No.
Introduce yourself to the team, to the fans, and tell them your position.
My name is Daquan Colbert. I play offensive tackle and defensive tackle.
I always talk about the guys in the trenches are the unsung heroes. Granted, at the college level, at the pro level, at the Pop Warner level, at the high school level, the running backs, the quarterbacks, the receivers, yeah, they're always in the newspaper, you're hearing about them. It all starts with you guys that are in here.
Yeah, we really don't get the recognition.
Well, when I'm up in the booth, if you ever watch games, I talk about the guys in the trenches, and those guys behind you are only as good as the guys in front of you. Bulk of your offense and defensive lines returning.
Yeah.
That's got to be a plus for you playing with one another.
We got basically our entire starting offensive line. Yeah, like you said. Right now we don't have one of our starting seniors.
Yeah, you got nicked up a little bit. We'll be back. You guys are still tough and you're young. You heal a lot faster than us old
Yeah,
timers.
of course.
You have a preference on offensive line or defensive line?
Personally, I do enjoy playing the offensive line more, just because I feel more comfortable on offense than I do on defense. I feel comfortable on defense a lot, but offense is like, I love it.
Do you find the younger players, the sophomores and juniors, they look up to the senior players, or the seniors have that leadership role?
Yeah, they definitely do. A bunch of the younger guys, they like talking to us, joking around with us, practice, but they know when it's time to do business,
It's time to do business.
Yes.
One game this season you're looking forward to, who and why?
I would have to say North Plainfield, because
Why?
last year,
It was this close.
This close.
This close.
This close. And I feel like we have unfinished business with them.
Okay. Good thought. Stay healthy.
Of course.
Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Come on in. Welcome to TV 35.
Thanks for having me.
Introduce to the fans your name and your positions.
Hey, I'm Nick Lahotsky. I play defensive end.
Thoughts about the defensive side? What do you like playing that position?
Just like hitting people.
Gives you a chance to let it go.
Yeah, let it go. Start hitting people. That's what I like.
Your thoughts about this season being it's a week shorter in practice before your first game. You usually don't have that first game until after Labor Day. You're starting up. They call it week 0, but thoughts about that? Better or worse?
I think it's better. It's a week faster. Season gets through faster. Championship game will be as cold this year. I like that.
Good point. And you start out with 2 home games this year, 5 total. It's been a lot of years since South Rivers had 5 home games. Do you find a home game better with the fans there?
Definitely, the energy's a lot better at home games than away games, but away games it's still pretty good. Our
Good
fans
follow.
show up, yeah.
They've been like that for years, back when I was here in the 60s.
Yeah.
As I ask every senior here, thoughts about the game you want to play?
Spots to it, no
Why?
question. They're just our rivals. We got to beat them. It's our last year to do it.
Last year to do it, and you want to walk away with that W.
And on a good note.
Good luck to you. Stay healthy.
Thanks.
Have a seat. Welcome to TV 35. Introduce to the fans your name and your position.
I'm Zach Doherty. I play fullback and middle and outside linebacker.
As a linebacker, you got a lot of responsibility as the linebackers. If somebody's able to break through that front line, those linebackers have to pick it up a slot. Thoughts about the position that you play?
I like it because you got a lot of pressure on it, and you guys just got to make the tackles go through it.
Do you find as you work your way up the ranks that the younger players respect the seniors more, having been through it?
Yeah, they definitely do because we're all family out there, and they're going to be taking our spots soon. So we just got to make sure they're up and ready for it.
Senior year, that one game you're thinking of who and why?
I know everybody else is saying it, but I got to say Spotswood because they're our rivals, and it's always a good game.
Okay. Good luck to you. Stay safe. Have a
Thank you.
successful season. Come on in. Have a seat. Welcome to TV 35. Introduce yourself to the fans out there. Tell them the position you play.
Hello, Matt Marchese. I play center, nose tackle, and long snapper.
What side of the ball you enjoy more?
Offense.
Offense?
Yeah, I like pancaking guys.
Now, I got to ask you something because you're in a little bit of a unique situation. I know you heard this a million times over. I can remember your dad playing. I was up in the booth when he played. But you look at it, did you learn a lot from him, whether he spots something that you're not doing right or something to make it better, having played the same position you're in?
Yeah, definitely. He spots every little thing that I do wrong because he expects me to do better because he knows how good I can be. He just expects a lot more out of me.
Well, I'll tell you, as a parent, you always want to get the best out of your son that's out there. Let's talk about your team now. You've had the good fortune of being center now 3 straight years.
Yeah.
Okay. Ryan Kurtz, quarterback. Have you and him made a good connection?
Yeah, definitely.
Does it date back to Pop Warner years?
Yeah, it does date back to Pop Warner years because basically this whole group of seniors and juniors played Pop Warner together from the start, from the flag.
But there's a special relationship between a center and a quarterback. They're just, whether he's going to tap you to go to the left, right, or whatever it is, there's got to be a relationship you got to build with that quarterback. He knows when he's going to get that ball, he's going to get that ball.
Yeah, it takes time to develop something
And
like that.
at this point in stage, you're well ahead of the game.
Yeah.
Thoughts about your offensive squad as a whole?
Offensive squad, I think we're gonna be pretty good because we got the whole line back. We all worked hard in the off season, and we wanted to win.
I mentioned to the coach, just looking over stats from last year, in the 7 games that were played, you guys were averaging 29 points a game. That's pretty solid numbers.
Yeah, we want more.
Want more and maybe give up less. Higher number, less give ups.
Yeah.
One game of the year that you look forward to and why?
We'll have to go with Spotswood because that's the game I got hurt in, and I just want to get my revenge back.
Return the favor, right?
Yeah.
Good luck to you. Stay healthy. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Come on down here. Welcome to TV 35. Glad to meet you. Introduce to the fans your name and your position.
I'm Davin Wilson. I play wide receiver and corner.
Which side of the ball you prefer playing on?
I like offense. I get to show my abilities to move around, shifting and stuff.
Do you find this year with the squad and the number of players that are seniors coming back that it's a little easier getting prepared for that first game?
It's a lot easier because we get to work together and like help the younger guys and help them know what they have to do.
You know, people talk about South River, and I always think of tradition and pride of wearing maroon and gray. What does it mean to you as a player with the Rams?
It's like we're like a family. We all work together. If somebody's down, we all help them get up. We push together. It's like a family.
As we talk about every senior and your thoughts, which one game are you looking forward to this year and why?
It has to be Bernard. It's going to be our hardest game this season. So it's going to make us push ourselves to be the best.
Why do you think it'd be Barnard's out of all the squads you play?
Because it's the hardest.
Toughest one out there.
Toughest one, so we're going to all push ourselves to do what we have to do and beat them.
And come back with a W to finish the season with.
Yes, sir.
Good luck to you. Please stay safe.
You too.
Zach, come on over here. Have a seat. Welcome to TV 35. Introduce for the fans your name and your position.
My name's Zachary Goodzak. I play offensive guard and defensive end.
Because most of the smaller towns, players play what's called Ironman. You play on both sides of the ball. Do you have a preference to which side you play on? Which one you enjoy more? How's that?
Honestly, I like the offense because it's my returning year, and now I'm familiar with the guys I've been playing with, and it's kind of gelling. The O-line is really gelling really good together.
Your O-line is returning all their players. That's an impressive stat to have when you come off a squad as strong as you were last year. 2 or 3 plays could have changed a couple of those L's to W's last year. It wasn't that teams were coming in and walking all over you. As you may have heard, I always like to talk about the unsung heroes because the guys behind you are only going to be as good as the guys on the line with you. Thoughts about your your offensive backs and your quarterback?
Our quarterback's really solid. Ryan, he's been great. The guys behind us, running backs, wide receivers, they've been putting in a lot of work I've seen. I think they're ready. You know, we all put in hard work during the off season, so I'm pretty impressed.
Do you find this year with one less week of practice and conditioning, if you want to call it that, is better because you're getting right into the heart of the game? Or you find, it would have been nice to have one more week of practice in here?
Honestly, I like the one more week of practice. I like to hone my craft and get better each and every week so that one less week is taken away from my practice, but I'm ready.
And I know fans are going to ask you, nicked up a little bit, hoping to be ready for game 1 next week?
Oh, I'm praying. I'm praying. I can't wait.
One game that you want to play next week, and you want to play, not next week, this season. Which game and why?
South Plainfield.
Why?
First game to start off the season. I'm excited. I want to start off the season right and roll with the momentum.
And it starts off with 2 home games consecutive. So you get that one, you roll right into the second one.
That's right.
Good luck to you. Wish you nothing but good luck. Look for you to play next week.
Thank you.
We had the good fortune. We talked a lot to the coach. Coach fills you in for what it is. Coaches can coach from the sideline. Coaches can't play the game. Talked over here about a dozen of the seniors. Offensive line looks real strong for the Rams this year. That should enable the Rams to put big numbers up on the board on the offensive squad. People that know me, you know I bleed maroon and gray, always have. It's going to be 2 key points that we're going to have to watch for the Rams this year. Point number 1, staying healthy. Depth could be a problem for the Rams. Item number 2, our defense is going to be stronger than they were last year. A lot of returning players to it. If they could gel properly, they can have one heck of a season. 9 games this year, not like it was last year. Hopefully all 9 will go well. We always talk about how many wins, how many losses. I think this squad this year has the ability to easily put up 6 or 7 wins if they're healthy and play as a unit. Should be a good time. We'll be talking to my good friend Art Lindensky before the start of the game next week. We'll give you his thoughts on it. Some of the fans that are here looking, some of them said undefeated, but they would say undefeated whether we were playing 3 games, 10 games, or against the college team. The reality of it is, get your opportunity to come out to these games. Support all these players that are out there. Whether you have a son, a daughter, a niece, a nephew that's cheering for him, playing football for him. We love to fill the stands. You fill the stands, it's an additional edge South River Rams could have. All of you know South River's here. Long history of football. I'll end this the way I started it. We just had one of the greatest honors of all time. Good friend of mine and classmate of mine, Drew Pearson, was inducted into the National Football Hall of Fame. The second player in the history of football to do it from South River, Alex Wojciechowicz being the only other player back years ago. To Drew, congratulations, like I said early on, long overdue, well deserved. Should have been in here for a while. I was happy to have the good fortune of seeing you getting inducted and a great time out there. All starts back here at home. He talked about South River when he was out there, talked about his coach when he was out there. A lot of these players will have memories they'll take with them the rest of their life. And for all we know, we may have one of them sitting here that'll be the third to be inducted into National Football Hall of Fame. On behalf of myself, my good friend Art Lindensky, special thanks to the camera crew, especially Rich Dudas and the gang out there in the truck. Thank you all, good night, and we will see you next week. Take care now.